In this video, we will discuss the 8 habits that can weaken your practice of Stoicism. By identifying and understanding these habits, you can become more aware of how they may be impacting your life and hindering your progress in living a virtuous and fulfilling life. It is important to stay stoic while watching this video, remaining open-minded and receptive to the information provided. By doing so, you can gain valuable insights and make positive changes that align with the principles of Stoicism. So, let's dive in and explore these habits together. Habit number 1. Constantly seeking external validation. Seeking external validation is a habit that can weaken your practice of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on internal virtues rather than seeking validation from others. Relying too much on external validation can make you dependent on others' opinions and undermine your self-reliance. In today's society, where social media platforms are prevalent, seeking external validation has become increasingly common. We often gauge our self-worth and happiness based on the number of likes, comments, and followers we receive. This constant need for validation can lead to a fragile sense of self-esteem as it becomes reliant on the opinions and approval of others. Stoicism, however, reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment come from within. The Stoics emphasize the importance of cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. These virtues are not dependent on the opinions or validation of others. Instead, they are qualities that we can cultivate and nurture within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. When we constantly seek validation from others, we give away our power. We become susceptible to the fluctuations of others' opinions, and our self-worth becomes contingent on their approval. This can lead to a constant need for external validation, making it difficult to find contentment and peace of mind. To illustrate this habit, let's consider an example. Imagine you have written a blog post that you are proud of and have put a lot of effort into. Instead of valuing the quality of your work and the satisfaction it brings you, you immediately seek validation by checking the number of views, likes, and comments. If the response is not as expected, you feel disappointed and doubt the value of your work. This reliance on external validation undermines your self-confidence and diminishes the intrinsic value of your efforts. So, how can we overcome this habit and strengthen our Stoic practice? Firstly, it is essential to recognize that external validation is fleeting and often beyond our control. People's opinions can change, and seeking approval from others is an endless pursuit. Instead, focus on cultivating internal virtues and aligning your actions with Stoic principles. Practice self-awareness and self-acceptance. Be mindful of your thoughts and emotions when seeking validation. Ask yourself why you need external approval and reflect on whether it truly aligns with your values and goals. Remember that your worth is not determined by others' opinions but by your character and actions. Develop a sense of self-reliance. Trust in your own judgment and decisions. Seek internal validation by measuring your actions against Stoic virtues. Focus on personal growth and progress rather than comparing yourself to others. Embrace the idea that your happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. Build a supportive community. Surround yourself with people who value and encourage your growth, rather than those who constantly seek to judge or bring you down. Seek feedback from trusted individuals who have your best interests at heart, but remember that their opinions should not define your work. In conclusion, constantly seeking external validation is a habit that weakens our practice of Stoicism. By recognizing the futility of relying on others' opinions for our self-worth, we can focus on cultivating internal virtues and finding fulfillment from within. Embrace self-reliance, practice self-awareness, and surround yourself with a supportive community. By doing so, you can strengthen your Stoic practice and live a more virtuous and fulfilling life. Habit number 2, dwelling on past mistakes. Dwelling on past mistakes is a habit that can significantly weaken your practice of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment, accept what has happened, and learn from our mistakes rather than constantly dwelling on them. However, many of us tend to get caught up in a cycle of regret, guilt, and self-blame. which prevents us from moving forward and growing as individuals. When we constantly replay past mistakes in our minds, we reinforce negative emotions and create a sense of stagnation. This habit not only hinders our ability to find peace and contentment, but also prevents us from fully embracing the present and making positive changes. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the recognition that we cannot change the past. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, stated, "What really frightens and dismays us is not external events themselves, but the way in which we think about them." This quote highlights the importance of our thoughts and perceptions in shaping our experience of the world. By dwelling on past mistakes, we allow ourselves to be consumed by negative thoughts and emotions, which leads to unnecessary suffering. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to accept our past actions and their consequences, take responsibility for them, and focus on what we can do now to improve ourselves and our circumstances. To overcome this habit, it is essential to practice self-compassion and forgiveness. We are all fallible human beings, and making mistakes is a natural part of our growth and learning process. Instead of berating ourselves for past actions, we should strive to cultivate a mindset of self-acceptance and understanding. It can be helpful to reframe our perspective on mistakes. Rather than viewing them as failures, we can see them as valuable lessons that have contributed to our personal development. Each mistake provides an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By embracing this mindset, we can let go of the burden of past errors and focus on the present moment. Another powerful technique to counteract the habit of dwelling on past mistakes is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By shifting our attention to the here and now, we can break free from the grip of past regrets and engage fully in our current experiences. Additionally, developing a gratitude practice can be immensely helpful in redirecting our focus away from past mistakes. By cultivating gratitude for the present moment and the lessons learned from past experiences, we shift our attention to the positive aspects of our lives and foster a sense of contentment. Ultimately, breaking the habit of dwelling on past mistakes requires conscious effort and a commitment to practicing Stoic principles. It is essential to remember that we have the power to choose how we respond to our past, and dwelling on mistakes only serves to hold us back from living a fulfilling and virtuous life. By letting go of the past, embracing self-compassion, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating gratitude, we can weaken the grip of this habit and cultivate a more stoic outlook. We can learn from our mistakes, grow as individuals, and focus our energy on what truly matters, the present moment and our pursuit of virtue. So, let us strive to break free from the chains of past regrets and embrace the teachings of Stoicism to live a more fulfilled and virtuous life. Habit number 3 on our list of habits that weaken Stoicism is succumbing to negative emotions. Stoicism teaches us the importance of rationality and not allowing our emotions to control our actions. However, when we give in to negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, or fear, we compromise our ability to remain calm and act virtuously. Let's delve deeper into this topic and understand the impact of succumbing to negative emotions on our Stoic practice and overall well-being. Negative emotions have a way of overpowering our rationality and clouding our judgment. When we let anger take hold of us, we often react impulsively, saying or doing things we later regret. Jealousy can make us resentful and bitter, leading to toxic emotions that harm our relationships. Fear can paralyze us, preventing us from taking necessary risks or confronting challenges. These emotions not only hinder our ability to make sound decisions, but also hinder our progress in cultivating virtues like patience, kindness, and compassion. In Stoicism, emotions are seen as impressions that arise from our judgments about the world. The Stoics believe that we have control over our judgments and consequently our emotions. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, we can examine our thoughts and judgments, challenging those that lead to negative emotions and cultivating ones that align with reason and virtue. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the concept of apatheia, which is often misunderstood as complete emotional detachment. However, it is not about suppressing or denying emotions, but rather about developing emotional resilience and maintaining inner tranquility in the face of challenging situations. Stoics recognize that negative emotions are natural and inevitable, but they encouraged us to respond to them with reason, wisdom, and self-control. So, how can we overcome the habit of succumbing to negative emotions and strengthen our Stoic practice? Here are a few strategies. 1. Cultivate mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more aware of our emotions as they arise. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them. This awareness provides us with the opportunity to pause and choose a more rational response instead of impulsively reacting. 2. Question your judgments. When negative emotions arise, take a moment to examine the underlying judgments that are fueling them. Are your judgments based on accurate assessments of the situation, or are they distorted by biases or irrational beliefs? Challenging and reframing these judgments can help shift your perspective and reduce the intensity of negative emotions. 3. Practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your thoughts, actions, and their consequences. Understand the patterns that trigger your negative emotions and explore alternative ways to respond. Self-reflection allows you to identify areas for growth and develop strategies to manage your emotions effectively. 4. Seek virtue over vengeance. In moments of anger or resentment, remind yourself of the Stoic principle of focusing on virtue rather than seeking revenge or holding grudges. Consider the long-term consequences of acting on negative emotions and strive to respond with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. 5. Embrace equanimity. Stoicism teaches us to accept the things we cannot control and focus on what is within our power. Develop a mindset of equanimity, recognizing that external events and other people's actions are outside your control. By letting go of the need to control everything, you can find peace of mind and reduce the impact of negative emotions. By applying these strategies consistently, we can weaken the habit of succumbing to negative emotions and strengthen our Stoic practice. It's important to remember that this process takes time and effort. We may stumble along the way, but each setback presents an opportunity for growth and learning. Stay committed to the Stoic principles, remain self-aware, and persevere in your journey towards living a virtuous and fulfilling life. In conclusion, allowing negative emotions to control our actions weakens our practice of Stoicism. By cultivating mindfulness, questioning our judgments, practicing self-reflection, seeking virtue over vengeance, and embracing equanimity, we can gradually reduce the impact of negative emotions in our lives. By doing so, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideals of rationality, resilience, and inner tranquility, leading to a more fulfilling and virtuous existence. Habit number 4 from the list is complaining without taking action. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and take proactive steps towards improvement, rather than wasting our energy on complaints about things outside our influence. This habit can weaken your practice of Stoicism and hinder your personal growth. Complaining without taking action is a common habit that many people fall into. It's easy to vent our frustrations and express dissatisfaction with various aspects of our lives. However, when complaining becomes a default response without any intention of taking action, it becomes counterproductive and detrimental to our well-being. When we complain without taking action, we reinforce a victim mentality where we perceive ourselves as powerless and at the mercy of external circumstances. This mindset goes against the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of recognizing and accepting that certain things are beyond our control, and instead directing our efforts towards those areas where we can make a difference. By constantly complaining without taking action, we fail to cultivate resilience and adaptability. Stoicism teaches us to embrace challenges and view them as opportunities for growth. When we complain without seeking solutions or taking steps to change our circumstances, we miss out on valuable chances to develop our character and overcome obstacles. Moreover, complaining without action also perpetuates a negative cycle. When we continuously express our dissatisfaction without actively seeking resolutions, we create a pattern of negativity in our life. Constant complaining can lead to a pessimistic outlook, draining our mental and emotional energies. To break this habit, we must shift our focus from complaining to problem solving. Instead of dwelling on the negatives, Stoicism encourages us to identify the aspects within our control and take actionable steps towards improvement. This approach empowers us, as it allows us to actively shape our lives and take responsibility for our own well-being. Taking action can involve various strategies depending on the situation. It may require us to seek knowledge, learn new skills, or engage in honest self-reflection to identify areas for personal growth. It could mean seeking guidance or support from others, or even making difficult decisions and taking risks. By adopting a proactive mindset, we align ourselves with Stoic principles and cultivate resilience and self-reliance. For example, let's say you are unhappy with your current job. Instead of constantly complaining about it, a Stoic approach would involve taking action. You could start by reflecting on what aspects of your job are dissatisfying and considering if there are any steps you can take to improve the situation. This may involve having a conversation with your supervisor to address your concerns, seeking additional training or education to enhance your skills, or exploring other job opportunities more aligned with your values and interests. By taking action, you actively work towards finding a solution and improving your circumstances. By breaking the habit of complaining without taking action, we can cultivate a more stoic mindset and create positive change in our lives. It allows us to focus our energy on what truly matters and empowers us to take control of our own happiness and well-being. So, let's strive to be proactive problem solvers rather than passive complainers, and embrace the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control. Habit number 5 from the list is being overly attached to material possessions. In Stoicism, the focus is on valuing virtue and inner qualities over external things. However, when we become overly attached to material possessions, we risk losing sight of what truly matters and finding lasting contentment. In today's consumer-driven society, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material wealth. We often believe that acquiring more possessions will bring us happiness and fulfillment. However, Stoicism reminds us that external things are temporary and ultimately beyond our control. They can be lost, stolen, or destroyed, and relying on them for our happiness leaves us vulnerable to disappointment and dissatisfaction. When we attach our self-worth and happiness to material possessions, we create a constant desire for more. We may become obsessed with accumulating wealth, always seeking the next big purchase or the latest gadget. This insatiable desire can lead to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction, as there will always be something new to desire or someone who has more than us. Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from external possessions to cultivating inner virtues. Virtues like wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice are within our control and can lead to lasting fulfillment. By valuing these qualities and working on developing them, we can find a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction in life. Moreover, being overly attached to material possessions can lead to a sense of insecurity and anxiety. We may constantly worry about losing what we have or compare ourselves to others who seem to have more. This attachment creates a cycle of fear and envy, which hinders our ability to live with tranquility and peace of mind. To overcome this habit, Stoicism encourages us to practice detachment. This doesn't mean we should completely abandon material possessions, but rather, we should develop a healthy relationship with them. We should recognize that possessions are external and not essential to our well-being. They should be seen as tools that can be used to enhance our lives and the lives of others, rather than sources of validation or happiness. One way to cultivate detachment is through practicing gratitude. By appreciating what we have and focusing on the things that truly matter, we can develop a sense of contentment and reduce our attachment to material possessions. We can also practice minimalism, intentionally simplifying our lives and letting go of unnecessary clutter and distractions. By freeing ourselves from the grip of material attachment, we can better align our actions with Stoic principles. We can focus on cultivating virtues, building meaningful connections with others, and contributing to the well-being of society. This shift in mindset allows us to find true fulfillment and live a more virtuous and purposeful life. In conclusion, being overly attached to material possessions weakens our practice of Stoicism. It distracts us from focusing on inner virtues and finding lasting contentment. By recognizing the impermanence of external things and practicing detachment, we can free ourselves from the cycle of desire and find fulfillment in cultivating virtues and living in alignment with Stoic principles. Habit number 6 from the list is avoiding discomfort and challenges. In the practice of Stoicism, embracing discomfort and challenges is considered essential for personal growth and self-improvement. Stoics believe that by willingly facing difficult situations, we develop resilience, cultivate virtue, and gain a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In today's society, it is common for people to seek comfort and avoid any form of discomfort. We often gravitate towards the path of least resistance, opting for convenience and immediate gratification. While this may provide temporary relief, it can hinder our long-term development and prevent us from reaching our full potential. By avoiding discomfort and challenges, we miss out on valuable opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in our ability to face adversity head-on and to persevere in the face of difficulty. It is through these challenges that we learn important lessons, develop resilience, and cultivate virtues such as courage, patience, and perseverance. When we constantly seek comfort and avoid challenges, we limit our personal and intellectual growth. We become stagnant and fail to tap into our full potential. Stoics encourage us to step out of our comfort zones and engage in activities that push us beyond our limits. By doing so, we not only expand our capabilities, but also develop a deeper sense of self-confidence and satisfaction. Moreover, avoiding discomfort can lead to a fear of failure. When we constantly play it safe and avoid taking risks, we miss out on the opportunity to learn from our mistakes and grow stronger. Stoicism teaches us to embrace failure as a natural part of life and to view it as a valuable learning experience. By facing failure with a Stoic mindset, we can extract wisdom from our setbacks and use it to propel ourselves forward. It's important to note that embracing discomfort doesn't mean purposefully seeking out unnecessary suffering. Stoicism doesn't advocate for self-inflicted pain, but rather encourages us to confront the challenges that come our way with a calm and rational mindset. It's about reframing our perspective and understanding that discomfort is a necessary part of life that can ultimately lead to growth and self-improvement. By actively seeking out challenges and discomfort, we develop a sense of self-mastery. We learn to rely on our internal virtues and strengths rather than external circumstances. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, which is our own thoughts, actions, and responses to the challenges we face. We become less dependent on external factors for our happiness and well-being. Incorporating this Stoic principle into our lives can have a profound impact. It allows us to approach life with a sense of purpose and resilience. We become better equipped to handle adversity, setbacks, and unexpected events. Rather than being overwhelmed by challenges, we learn to embrace them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. To stay stoic and watch till the end, it is crucial to approach this topic with an open mind and a willingness to challenge our existing beliefs and habits. By recognizing the tendency to avoid discomfort and embracing the Stoic principle of facing challenges head-on, we can cultivate a mindset that is resilient, adaptable, and focused on personal growth. So, let's embrace discomfort and challenges and embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. Habit number 7 from the list is neglecting self-reflection and introspection. This habit can significantly weaken your practice of Stoicism and hinder your personal growth and development. Self-reflection and introspection are essential components of Stoic philosophy, as they allow us to examine our thoughts, actions, and character, leading to self-awareness and positive change. In today's fast-paced and busy world, it is easy to get caught up in the daily routines and obligations without taking the time to pause and reflect on our lives. Neglecting self-reflection can prevent us from gaining insights into our own behaviors, motivations, and values. It keeps us from examining whether our thoughts and actions align with Stoic principles and virtues. When we fail to engage in self-reflection, we become disconnected from our inner selves, unaware of our own desires, fears, and patterns of behavior. This lack of self-awareness can lead to repeated mistakes, an inability to learn from our experiences, and a lack of personal growth. By neglecting self-reflection, we miss out on the opportunity to identify areas of improvement and make necessary changes. Stoicism teaches us that personal growth and virtue are lifelong pursuits, and self-reflection is a vital tool in this journey. It allows us to assess our progress, acknowledge our shortcomings, and work on becoming better versions of ourselves. Engaging in self-reflection also helps us gain a deeper understanding of our emotions and reactions. Stoicism teaches us to observe our emotions from a rational perspective rather than being consumed by them. Self-reflection enables us to identify patterns of emotional reactions, triggers, and biases. Through this understanding, we can cultivate emotional resilience and better manage our responses to challenging situations. Moreover, self-reflection allows us to question our values and beliefs, ensuring they align with Stoic principles. It helps us examine if we are living according to our own standards or merely conforming to societal expectations. By reflecting on our values, we can make conscious choices that are in line with Stoic virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice. Self-reflection also fosters a sense of accountability and responsibility. It encourages us to take ownership of our thoughts, actions, and their consequences. By regularly examining our choices, we can assess whether they align with Stoic ethics and adjust our behavior accordingly. Practicing self-reflection doesn't require elaborate rituals or specific techniques. It simply involves setting aside dedicated time to pause, disconnect from distractions, and turn inward. It can be as simple as finding a quiet space, journaling, or engaging in mindfulness practices. The key is to create a habit of regularly taking this time for self-reflection, allowing for meaningful introspection. By embracing self-reflection, we can cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness, align our behavior with Stoic principles, and foster personal growth. It empowers us to make conscious choices, develop emotional resilience, and live a life guided by virtue. In conclusion, neglecting self-reflection and introspection is a habit that weakens our practice of Stoicism. By engaging in regular self-reflection, we can gain self-awareness, identify areas of improvement, and align our thoughts and actions with Stoic virtues. It is through self-reflection that we can truly grow and develop as Stoic practitioners, leading to a more fulfilling and virtuous life. Habit number 8 from the list is ignoring the well-being of others. In Stoicism, the concept of cosmopolitanism emphasizes the idea that we are all part of a larger human community, and that we should care for the well-being of all humanity. Ignoring the needs and suffering of others can weaken our sense of empathy and compassion, hindering the development of virtuous character. Stoicism teaches us that we should strive to live in accordance with nature and to cultivate virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. One of the fundamental virtues emphasized by Stoicism is the virtue of kindness or benevolence towards others. Ignoring the well-being of others goes against this principle and can lead to a disconnect from our fellow human beings. When we ignore the well-being of others, we become indifferent to their struggles, their needs, and their suffering. This indifference can manifest itself in various ways, such as turning a blind eye to the suffering of those less fortunate, failing to offer support or assistance to those in need, or lacking empathy in our interactions with others. By neglecting the well-being of others, we miss out on opportunities to practice compassion and empathy, which are essential for developing virtuous character. Stoicism teaches us that we should view all individuals as fellow human beings, deserving of respect, dignity, and compassion. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all humanity, we can cultivate a sense of empathy and act in ways that promote the well-being of others. When we ignore the well-being of others, we also miss out on the benefits that come from engaging in acts of kindness and altruism. Research has shown that acts of kindness not only benefit the recipient but also have a positive impact on the well-being of the giver. By actively caring for the well-being of others, we can experience a sense of fulfillment, purpose, and connection. Moreover, by ignoring the well-being of others, we reinforce a self-centered mindset that hinders our own personal growth and development. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness and fulfillment come from living a virtuous life and aligning our actions with the principles of reason and morality. By neglecting the well-being of others, we lose sight of this fundamental truth and become trapped in a cycle of self-interest and self-centeredness. To overcome this habit and strengthen our practice of Stoicism, it is important to cultivate a sense of empathy and compassion towards others. This can be done by actively seeking to understand the perspectives and experiences of others, by practicing acts of kindness and generosity, and by developing a genuine concern for the well-being of those around us. By embracing the virtue of kindness, we not only strengthen our practice of Stoicism, but also contribute to creating a more compassionate and harmonious world. We become agents of positive change, promoting the well-being of others and fostering a sense of community. In conclusion, ignoring the well-being of others is a habit that weakens our practice of Stoicism. By recognizing the importance of compassion and empathy, we can actively work towards overcoming this habit and cultivating a greater concern for the well-being of all humanity. In doing so, we not only strengthen our own character, but also contribute to creating a more virtuous and compassionate society.